Our next roaster is a hilarious comedian. I've seen him on TV. We get to see him live right now. Give it up, Michael Somerville, everybody.
Indeed, indeed. Nice. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out. This is a pleasure to be here. Tony. Let's do it. Let's do this. I agree with you. Gary, great work. Must be nice to have 17 writers. I can barely sign his own checks, and he's up here killing.
Paid $12,000 for those jokes, man.
And he has it. That's the part that kills me. I know, Tony, I know you're having a good time tonight, because if anyone's watched Man Caves, you know he loves watching other people work. I've had the rare pleasure of many of the comics had lunch with Tony a few weeks ago to get to know him. We don't know him personally like many of you do, so we got a chance to. I was not around for that lunch, so Tony was gracious enough to have me at his house this past Monday. First time we ever met was about 48 hours ago, 50 hours. And I'd just like to tell you guys a little bit about that experience. Tony lives in New Jersey, a very nice suburb, and you pull into his street and you realize there's success. It looks like, the houses, the doctors, the lawyers, and I wasn't sure which house was his. And then in the distance, I saw a house that had 17 cars and a Cadillac, an RV, and there was a child with a metal garbage can with flames shooting out. And he was feeding this fire with empty wooden crates. And I said, I think that might be Tony's house. I pull up to said house and notice there's a semicircle of chubby Italian men in sweatsuits. Bob, you were there. Am I lying? You're fat and you're Italian and you were wearing a sweatsuit. Which part was inaccurate? And I said, I definitely found a semicircle of Italians. I found Tony's house. I approached, and you weren't happy. You didn't remember I was coming. I don't think you remembered the booking. And I said, Mr. Siragusa, Michael Somerville. And you said, who? The gentleman...
Just like what everybody else said when you got up here. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, keep it down now. I'll get my turn. Relax. Let them talk.
You rile them up and then tell them to keep it down. That's... Which, speaking of, I said, I'm Michael Somerville, the comedian, roasting you this Wednesday, and he said, who? And then the semicircle proceeded to list all their favorite comics. They told me, I've never heard of you, but let me tell you who's funny. So the Italian semicircle was making homemade wine. He had 60 cases of grapes, and he was, yeah. There was bees flying everywhere. This young boy was burning all the crates, and the ashes were flying onto neighbors' roofs and houses. And at this point, I felt, it's true. Am I lying? Is any of this untrue?
He is telling the God's honest truth. This is exactly what happened.
These fucking guys, they're making red wine in their garage on Columbus Day, and at this point, I feel like I'm on a hidden camera show. This is ridiculous. I could not have overstayed my welcome because I never felt welcome. But I did leave with enough research to feel like I could roast you fairly 50 hours later. And that is what I'm here to do. When you first talk to Tony Siragusa, you do not feel necessarily like you're talking to the smartest man in the world. That's the end of that. Tony says that he is at his best when people bet against him, which explains his success. He's a man who overcomes adversity. He's had 2 bad knees since he was 6. He says that growing up, one of his problems that he was always thinking too much. He certainly outgrew that. Went on to the University of Pittsburgh, where he studied criminal justice so he could tell his Italian friends what the other side was up to.
It's called espionage, you know what I'm saying? Look at these German guys. They're not even laughing, these motherfuckers. Huh? All right, guys, doing a good job.
I assumed coming into this I was going to die tonight. I took that for granted. This is still my biggest credit, so I'm good with it. In all fairness, I admire the man's confidence from Little League to the NFL. He was constantly told that he was not good enough, yet after all that rejection, never once did he realize he's just not that talented. And of course, all his endeavors have not been that successful, like his effort to bring back the mullet never worked. His attempt to launch a New Jersey restaurant using the same name as the most famous jewelry company in the world. That didn't quite catch on. Tony is a physical presence. His nickname is the Goose instead of the more appropriate foie gras. And by the way, how about the hair? He retired from football 10 years ago. It looked like you just took off your helmet this morning. How you do that? Alas, we are in the presence of a Super Bowl champion right here. And despite years and years of getting hit in the head, it doesn't feel like he's lost anything. With so many gifts, no surprise after retirement that Hollywood came calling. Somehow the man has more credits than people who actually work in entertainment. His acting roles have included parts on The Sopranos, in which he played a New Jersey guy, an Italian guy from New Jersey, and somehow managed to be not believable. How you pull that off?
Real tough role, let me tell you.
But despite your success, Tony has criticized other actors for wanting to be the center of attention, which is something you would never do. Tony is also the spokesperson for Adult Diapers Depends, used by men with leakage problems, or in Tony's case, just to have an uninterrupted afternoon on the couch. Not only is Tony a bad actor, he's also a failed author. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Tony's literary work, Goose. They say writing is rewriting, but clearly Tony did not have time for that. Co-written by New York Times bestselling author Don Yeager, who I can only assume was sick on the afternoon that you worked on this. If you haven't read it, Tony shares groundbreaking stories about being constipated and the time he played golf in Newark. Riveting stuff. He actually just also told me he's about to record an audio version of the book, yes. So in a neat twist, the first book he wrote will also be the first book he's ever read. Before I leave you, I do want to...
I didn't read it yet. I didn't read it, so...
Neither did I. Before I leave you, it's only fair, if you haven't read the book, to give you a little taste of the gems that lie within. This is Tony on the Super Bowl. When you win that game, your dick gets bigger. If you have a 1-inch dick and you win that game, now it's 2 inches.
Mike remembers that because he's hoping for some another inch, isn't he? I'll let you wear my ring one day, all right?
I'll rub your ring. He continues, just look at Tom Brady. His cock is probably 2 feet long. And he married a supermodel. That's a fact. Well, the second part is a fact. Hell, his wife is such a big-time supermodel, she makes more money than he does. Need I say more? Yes. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you... Alas, where does Tony Siragusa go from here? We're all wondering, for this Renaissance man who knows no bounds, where will this... It's only the beginning, the mogul of multiple industries, the Richard Branson of New Jersey. That's actually my favorite line. Well, he answers that question at the end of the book. Ladies and gentlemen, me, he says, I have 1,000 things I'm ready to do. I'm ready to do the contractor thing. I could build a house if I wanted to, make it really sweet with the nice touches like granite countertops. I can work with heavy machinery. I've flown planes, although I don't have my license. And then you go, I have a plane. You're just like a kid just making shit up on the playground. He goes, now I have a plane. Like you just decided that. I'll jump on a zip line, period. I have deer heads in the basement from hunting, and I've bear hunted. Hell, I built the basement myself. I make wine and grappa. I saw that. I have a collection of fine liquors. I collect guns.
You should listen to that.
He thinks the mob's still relevant. I love it. Andy Fiore, I didn't say that. You guys are great at trash, sorry.
Where is Andy Fiore? Is he in the back?
Is he? He's out getting my plate numbers. There's a little more.
Go ahead, Mike. We don't
I
want
have four-wheelers and boats. I've been fishing 100 miles off sharks.
Offshore.
Offshore.
Yeah, I'll help you.
You actually know this book, huh? I've caught sharks. I have a greenhouse, a shed in the backyard, designed my whole backyard, complete with waterfall. I plant tomatoes, I landscape everything. The point is, I know everything, and I'm doing everything. And that's why when somebody asks me about having a bucket list, parentheses, you know, the list of things people do before they want to kick the bucket. It took me a long time to think about it. The thing I came up with first, I want to grow old and see my kids get married. It has nothing to do with anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Siragusa. In all fairness, I have known you 50 hours, and I have to say, he's not going to like this, but he's truly one of the warmest individuals I think I have ever met. Thank you for letting us tease you.
Give him a round of applause. Let's go, my people. Let's go. Good man.
Michael Somerville, everybody. Remember that name. This is all right.
He was on like one of them shows or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Pump him up a little bit, will you, please, Jeff? Help him out.
Michael Somerville. One more time. We're rocking this. One more roaster, and then the guest of honor gets to come up for his rebuttal. I see Cole's date finally made it. How you doing? All right, what's up?
Hey, look at this. This guy's been here 3 hours. All of a sudden, this girl shows up with studs and stuff. Unbelievable.
Wow. Looks like she got
I think
roasted.
you went, I think you're a little over your head, bro. You might have went overboard. I don't know about that. Jeff, what do you think?
I think she's very beautiful. I'm not going to fuck with her. That's all right. Where were you, honey? We were worried sick about you.
She was putting all those studs in her jacket.
What's your name, darling? What's your name? Huh? Chaya?
Jael.
Chael?
What are you, fucking ears clogged? Jael.
All the blood's rushing to my dick, sorry.
Look at him, look at him. He was all quiet. Now he's clapping and shit that he's sitting next to her, huh? That Match.com works, that shit, doesn't it?
Wow. Way to go, Cole. Way to go. Way to go. You're very beautiful. I'd like to see your man cave.